My name is Arita Mosa and I'm from Nandi.
Do you want to be a decision maker, and at what level or where?
Yes, in my home and community.
How was your experience, your 2014 voting experience?
It was well organized, unlike in the previous years. Like we have to wait for 2 or 3 weeks, and for the last year it was just a day.
So you had voted before?
Yes.
Okay. What would you like your next voting experience to be in 2018?
I want my experience in 2018 is to improve the weakness that was witnessed in the 2014 election. Any weakness.
Okay. Anything you can identify? Any weakness you identified?
A space to move around in the polling station.
So as Parliament meets, what do you want them to do?
To look at more important issues and not just the flag. Like issues like, I'd like the government to upgrade roads and put up street lights. Since settlements and towns without street lights and some with street lights but are not working is one of the contributing factor to young girls and women being raped. And another one, to increase campaigns on drugs in villages and to reduce use of drugs, since most of the youth use these drugs and little did they know that it can affect their lives.
What are your top 3 national budget priorities?
Development, education, and reducing poverty.
Hi, my name is Monica and I'm from L6.
Do you want to be a leader?
Yes, I do. I intend to become the next Speaker of the House.
Oh, okay.
Yes, in the future.
Did you vote in 2014?
No, I didn't, because me and my friends were planning to register. But whenever we'd meet up, we'd always say, okay, we'll register next week. Then when next week comes, then we'll say again next week. So we kept doing that until we found out that the registrations were closed. And I guess I didn't also register because I didn't have the motivation to take part in the elections, because I obviously know that Fiji First will win.
For 2018, what do you want your elections experience to be like?
Well, I don't really know, but I guess much faster. Like, I don't want to wait in a long line to vote. And I want to know more about the candidates personally, like their personal background and not what they just have to offer. I want to know what kind of leader they'll be. Yeah.
When Parliament meets next month, what do you want them to be talking about?
Free education for master's, postgrad level.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for next year's national budget, what are your top 3 budget priorities?
I would say health, mostly with sexual and reproductive health services, education for women in the political field, and also, agriculture.
Do you want to be a decision maker at what level or where?
Well, I'd love to be a decision maker, and actually if I got to start making decisions, I'd rather take it from the grassroots level. I'd like to be a decision maker at my inside my house first, in my family first, rather.
So from home, where do you want to go next?
From homes, if we are given a very positive background at decision making at home, we can slowly move towards community level and then further go up the ladder.
How about at higher levels?
Well, at higher levels, I'd say at workplaces. I belong to a men's square. I'd say my profession is related to men's jobs. I'm an engineering student currently, and I have been working for an architect's firm for the past 8 years. So what I can see there is that sometimes we do have a bit of imbalance there. That is the place where I want my voice to be heard. Like, I want to tell them that I am equal to them. And I'd like to make decisions too. Like, I'd like my decisions to be heard.
So you want gender equality there?
Yes, very much.
Okay. So how was your experience of voting last year?
The voting procedure itself was okay. Say compared to other years, it was okay. It was fine. It was a bit easy even. But then the only thing that was not pleasant was the queuing up. Queues and all, and then there was this small thing that I noticed is that the provisions given to people who were sick or ladies who were unhealthy. What I mean is unhealthy. By unhealthy is that if there was a lady queuing up in the line who just came back from the hospital after labor, after actually giving birth, and she was actually queuing up in the line. She was not feeling good. This is my personal experience. I just met her in the queue, and then she was not being attended to. Like, for us ladies, when I saw that happening, it was like I felt really sorry for her. And what I expect is that there should be some provision for ladies like that.
What do you want your 2018 experience to be like?
The queues to be shorter,
Okay.
and then most likely you should use the electronic voter systems. And then unlike we had in 2014 elections, I think in the 2018 one we should have everybody to vote. Like not in the 2014 when we saw that the people who were hospitalized, were in hospital, were not voting, did not vote. What the next voting system should do is actually they should conduct a voting system for the ones in the hospitalized, because they contribute equally, like they have the right to contribute.
As parliament meets, what do you want them to do?
Well, I'd like heaps of things to be done in education sectors, in social welfare. A lot of emphasis on the women on women.
Just tell us what are your top 3 priorities for the budget, for the national budget.
Yes, education is one. Social welfare is the other one. Health is the third one. When I say health, there's this thing I'd like to point out. I've always been going for this point. In fact, it is like when I say health, I mean we should have assistance, some sort of assistance given to ladies when they are actually pregnant. Because what we can see is that there are some ladies out in the rural who don't normally have bus fares to travel to hospitals for their regular clinics. And worse to worse, we have situations where there are ladies who do not have money, who do not have their fares to travel to the hospital even when they have started with their labor. This also comes with a personal experience. This is not out in the rural. This is just here in Suva, in Nasinu, at the bus stop near Rishiku. Okay. We were standing there waiting for the bus, and I come across a lady fully pregnant, and she's holding onto the side of her tummy. And I asked her, "Are you okay?" She said, "I am in labor." And I asked her, "What are you doing on the roadside?" And she tells me that I want to go to the hospital. She wanted to go to the hospital, but then she was waiting for a bus. She was waiting for the hospital bus to go to the hospital, and with that labor pain going on. What I'm saying here is that the government should give transportation passes, temporary transportation passes to women while during their pregnancy, just to cater for them, for themselves, to make for them to be comfortable while traveling, or to cater for their well-being at that state of pregnancy. And yes, adding on to that point, if they could give food vouchers to ladies who are pregnant, by food vouchers I mean for them to have proper meals. Out there in the rural, we can be having some ladies who are not having, who are not following a healthy diet, something like that.
Hello, my name is Trasmeen Nisha, and I'm a postgraduate student at the University of the South Pacific.
Thank you. Do you want to be a decision maker, and at what level?
Yes, I do. At all the levels I can. My personal decision making, organizational level, family level.
How was your 2014 voting experience?
It was okay, but it's just very tiring to stand in the lines for so long. Yeah, that's basically the only problem I encountered.
What do you want your 2018 voting experience to be?
Perhaps they could have more centers where we can go and vote, so that there's less of a crowd and it's easier. You can just go and get it over with quickly.
As Parliament meets, what do you want them to do?
There's a number of issues that we would like them to talk about, like more women representation in Parliament and equal pay for women. They could try to be a greater voice for the young people, the young women, and just generally try to tackle the stereotype that's against all this. I mean, that's for applied to all these young people that, they're just a bunch of drunk or social media addicted people who don't have a say or don't have any opinions about what local or national politics should be.
What are your 3 national budget priorities?
Health, education, and more support to rural entrepreneurship for women.